Farewell, Super Mario Maker. The Wii U and 3DS's online closure is going to send shockwaves of destruction through my childhood. So after their shutdowns got confirmed by Nintendo of America earlier in October, I started brainstorming as to what games I could come back to in order to celebrate the life and legacy of this console. And I came up with a Mario Torture one. Super Mario Maker, it was everything. It was my dream Mario game. Not just a Mario game, but a Mario platform. Using the Wii U gamepad, you can touch a screen and create your own custom Mario levels, using assets from 4 distinct styles of Mario games in real time. And you can play them in real time, pausing and editing things as you go. The sky's the limit until you reach the height limit or many of the other limits implemented into the game to prevent the Wii U's processor from turning into toast. But the sky's probably about the limit. But yeah, for the most part, this was a hands-off approach from Nintendo, giving us a bunch of assets across multiple eras of Mario and let players roam free with it. And it was all released in time for the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. Coincidentally, mind you, but wow. What a coincidence. Like, everything about this game just oozes charm. Every day of the week gets its own loading screen whenever you boot up the game. The title screen itself is playable and has a bunch of little Easter eggs by pressing each letter on screen. This is all before I've even pressed a button, by the way. From pressing start on the Wii U home menu to entering the level editor or gameplay suite, Mario Maker is exploding with winks and nods towards Mario's legacy and its own charming features. You can play as Lankman in this game. It's everything I wanted from making my dream Mario level. And speaking of that, let me go on record to say I went hard making these levels. I was cooking so hard I nearly burnt down the kitchen. Look at this shit. MLG skills required. I wasn't the brightest kid, but regardless, as a kid, this was the best thing they could have ever given me. A straight toolbox where I can do whatever I want, using Mario as a set of guardrails. But on a more personal note, I think I have made some pretty good things using Mario Maker, and I dare say it was a big responsibility to why my mentality shifted as a kid to go from, how can I play as many of these things as possible, to, how can I play as many of these things as possible, and also make a few of them. And I think it's the same for a lot of kids too. Mario Maker served as an ideal launchpad for people to take their first steps into seriously giving thought to and creating their own levels. If you've played a Mario game before, you'll likely know the basics of what everything in this menu does. If you've played a few Mario games before, you'll probably know what should go where to make an enjoyable level. And it's such an easy system to understand. It's basically painting with the gamepad when you break it down to its bare essentials. Select a block or an item from the menus at the top of the screen, and then use the touchscreen to place them in each tile. Even adding effects to the enemies in this game is as easy as dragging a mushroom on top of them and letting the game work its magic. If you've interacted with Mario media before, you'll realise that thing plus mushroom equals big thing. It's undoubtedly one of the best ways to place a game design tool in the hands of consumers, and also, unfortunately, why I think the follow-up in Super Mario Maker 2 hasn't worked quite as well. Going from 2 screens to 1 means you're either playing in handheld modes, using your finger or a sold separately stylus for your designs, or realising why creating with a controller is just not feasible at all. And some of the things removed, like the aforementioned ability to give enemies power-ups or shaking them to unlock alternate forms being replaced with static radial menus, is just... it's a little bit sad. It still serves as a good follow-up, though I'll touch on all of that later, because we need to discuss the other half of Mario Maker. This thing, on top of all of that creation suite, is still an amazing Mario game. It's so funny that Nintendo were given the choice between advertising Super Mario Maker as a level creation tool, or a reasonably infinite Mario game. Who gets that choice? Apparently it's us, looking at the 2 clappers on the title screen giving us the option to create or play. I think it's pretty obvious which one we've been discussing up to this point, so if we hit play, we'll move over to our main course of the night, the Mario challenges. We go up in multiples of 10 Mario challenge, 100 Mario challenge, 1000 Mario challenge would require me to unlock the secrets of immortality, unfortunately, so that was a no-go. But if you want to blast past all limits and move towards the great beyond, there's Course World for a near infinite amount of Mario games that all released before 2021. Doesn't even matter though, I didn't even flinch, because between the genuinely innovative levels people made, the music tracks, the troll levels, the free runs, and the ones that were obviously just children having some fun placing giant Bowsers with wings in a clown car, there's enough content here for a lifetime of gameplay. Starting with 10 Mario Challenge, it runs you through 8 pre-made Mario levels with 10 lives to your name, with the goal to simply make it to the end without running out of lives. If I had to compare it to anything here, it would be a live updating version of a singular Mario world, with replay value as the predetermined levels are kicked to the curb for user-made levels after your first playthrough. It's sort of like a really bare-bones story mode within Mario Maker that then gets replaced with user-created levels for infinite replayability. Meanwhile, 100 Mario Challenge allows you 100 lives to work work through a set amount of user-made courses depending on your difficulty level. You can also skip levels and save your progress, but in the real world, this is basically just a more dignified way to play the course world levels, and it was my preferred way to play too. The concept too, 100 Mario challenge. I don't know, just something about that seemed cool. A constant rotation of Marios for me to reach the end with. I was like 10 years old, my imagination was running wild, cut me a break. But after travelling down the back, we've arrived at the base of the spine of Mario Maker, a global database that lets you filter for, search for, download and play every uploaded course onto the game. It's amazing. It's Course World. Obviously, as I've alluded to throughout this talk, you have to get through some coal to arrive at the gems of Mario Maker. Let's not pretend like there aren't troll levels or people who roam this earth that do not understand game design in the slightest that infuriate me, but I think what you do get here is worth it. And plus, if you ever get tired of playing other people's horse shit, you can always go back to making your own horse shit. That's what makes Mario Maker so great in my mind. And the idea that it's going to get torched to the ground within just a few short months is a little bit heartbreaking. I have so many good memories of this bright yellow case. The immediate response to that is just play Mario Maker 2. But Mario Maker 2 doesn't have the mystery mushroom costumes. Mario Maker 2 doesn't have a lanky Mario. Can we really call this a Nintendo passion project if it doesn't have lanky Mario? But this is what we can call it. A legacy. Super Mario Maker, against all the odds of being the 6th big Wii U release with Mario as the focus, defined a console generation for its amazing utilization of the gamepad. It sparked creativity in the most charming, Nintendo-like way possible, and now that I say it out loud, this is exactly how Nintendo would do a game creation tool, isn't it? Simple, easy to understand, plenty of bells and whistles for people to gawk at, which is why moving to Mario Maker 2 just feels a little off. There's less Nintendo-ness here. Certain power-ups were removed, certain Easter eggs were taken out, and it makes the experience feel a lot like, let's get Mario Maker onto the Switch by any means necessary, as opposed to, let's make the sequel for Super Mario Maker. And I mean, that's not me saying Super Mario Maker 2 isn't an objective upgrade over the Wii U release. You've got so many more features like slopes for 3D world style, the entire story mode they baked into the game. If we can consider Mario Maker a level editor with a Mario world baked into it, then we need to consider Mario Maker 2 a level editor with a Mario game baked into it. And then they expanded that Mario game even further with Update 3.0 and the World Bot. You can, with no word of exaggeration, construct your own worlds with toad houses, mini-bosses, castle levels, pack together multiple of them and publish them for people to play. You can create your own native Mario games, and someone ended up going for the full mile. Super Mario Bros. 5, not licensed by Nintendo, is an entire game inspired by the original NES Mario trilogy, entirely built and released on Super Mario Maker 2. And you're probably screaming, pleading, begging to know how this relates to the original Mario Maker that's getting closer to death with each passing word I waste, but the development of this fan game started in, get this, Super Mario Maker for Wii U. And that's the legacy that Mario Maker is going to leave behind, for me at least. Nintendo's foundations in Mario creation, but foundations that were good enough to stand firm on their own. Super Mario Maker is funny, charming, amazing, and everything in between. And despite the succession of Super Mario Maker 2, it's going to be a Wii U game I'll be genuinely sad to miss. I'll be genuinely sad to miss a lot of these games, but Mario Maker will leave a unique hole, and right now, there's nothing to fill it. I mean, I've been over why Maker 2 isn't an option, so the only other release we have to consider is Super Mario Maker for Nintendo 3DS. Why was this made?